Hey folks, welcome to another Fitness Friday Posi-TIPS with Rachelle. Folks, last time I had the opportunity to discuss the importance of confidence and authenticity, which is so important. This time I want to discuss the importance of self-image. Now this is going to be a drive-by episode. I'm actually going to do a series on the importance of self-image here in a couple of months. I'm going to do a multi-part series on that, but folks, I just wanted to highlight a few pointers from that today. But before I do, wanted to hit on my most recent Rachelle's PF or Planet Fitness adventure. Had the opportunity to go back to the Milford Club, Milford, Michigan location, Sunday, April 29th. Had another great workout, and as I've stated to you before, I like to visit a club at least twice before I complete a survey, so that way I can see that and gauge that level of consistency of member experience from one visit to another. So I had another great experience. Actually, they had a young man there. I didn't catch his name at the front desk, but he had on a black jacket. It was very personable, very friendly, made small talk, but also, folks, and that gym has the new gym smell. Just like there's a new car smell, that gym has the new gym smell still. Was great. It was great to see and have an opportunity to get on those rollers again, and absolutely loved it. But folks, I want to share with you really quickly something that happened actually before I left that particular club. So I had an opportunity, so I was getting dressed and everything, and I'm putting all my stuff in my bag. I had all my clothes and stuff on. I had to visit a church in Heartland, Michigan, so I had all my church clothes and everything, and I'm putting everything in my bag, getting ready to leave, and I hear a voice say, "Hello," and I'm thinking to myself, unfriendly Rachelle. I was thinking, what is this? I don't know anybody in Milford who's and so I turn around, and it's a lady that says, "I thought that was you," and I have no clue who she is. And then she says, "I'm Elaine. Do you remember me?" And I'm like, "No, I don't have a clue who this woman is." And so, folks, she says, "Well, remember, I actually introduced myself to you at the Planet Fitness in Novi. And I was at Powerhouse before that because I recognized you from Powerhouse when I introduced myself to you over there because I recognized you from Powerhouse in Novi." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I remember you. You're the swim coach and all that kind of stuff for Huron Valley Schools." And yeah, so whatever. Long story, folks, short. She was so happy. She and her husband, she said, left that club. The Milford Club opened up. She couldn't remember. She said December 31st or either the 2nd of January. But she said, "We joined this club. We have not looked back. This club is 0.4 miles from our house. We absolutely love it." And she was going on and on and on. This club was a former Farmer Jack grocery store. It sat empty for 10 years. And Planet Fitness came in here and we love this gym and whatever, this and that. And so she's like, "Well, are you still in Novi?" And I said, "Well, no, I'm actually at the PF Country Club in Commerce." And she's like, "Well, what is that?" So I had to tell her that's kind of the nickname that I've given it. And then she says, and it's funny because she's competitive, but I'm like, "Yeah, she's a swim coach." And so she says, "Well, is your gym as good as this one?" "Oh, yes, it is. Yes, the one I'm at is the gym that I attend is actually a country club. That's why I call it that." But anyway, and that certainly, I put this feedback in the member survey at the bottom. There's a section for just written comments, and I put that in there because I think it's so important, particularly for a manager, a general manager, to recognize just how much their presence in a community, how much of a difference that makes, and just how happy members are. So that was great for me to see, and those are the types of things that are so important. And I'm thinking to myself, so Thursday, what was it? Thursday, April 26th. There was an article in Crane's Detroit Business actually about PF Michigan Group and how they are now, it inked a deal for a 2-year deal with the Detroit Tigers to be their official fitness partner. And that was so exciting to see because those are the types of things when you're talking about having an offensive strategy, particularly in the fitness arena, just of course, not only here in Metro Detroit, but anywhere. It's so important. As I often state, and anybody who's played any type of sport has probably heard the old quote that the best defense is a good offense. And so it was so exciting to see that for them because 2018 and 2019 are certainly going to be some years. We've got a couple of new entrants coming in, and you've heard me mention that. Crunch Fitness. I actually had an opportunity to go to their open house in Farmington Hills on Sunday, April 29th. So later on that same morning, had an opportunity to go to their open house. I got an invite, and folks, anybody who's in Metro Detroit, particularly because they are going after, from a corporate strategy, they're going after Planet Fitness pretty aggressively. That's all I have to say, but I'm going to table that conversation to the importance of competitive analysis. In that series, I'm probably going to have a whole series on Crunch Fitness, but it's going to be just interesting. People were there. It was packed. People signing up like crazy, leaving other gyms. It was very, very interesting. I met Danny, who will be the personal training director. I met one of their regional managers who came up from Florida, who's helping to open up, which used to be, 3 weeks ago when I was in the Dearborn, Michigan club, talking with Rachel at the enrollment center, it was 25 clubs in 5 years. And now that number's been revised to 28 clubs. And so they're actually, even though that's on the border of Farmington Hills and Novi, they're actually looking at a Novi club. And I thought to myself, like, this is just, I mean, it's just, but I'm going to save that conversation because it's big. It's very, very big. And on the heels of that in 2019, we've got Blink Fitness coming in. And the person or the franchisee who owns the rights to the state of Michigan and Illinois is none other than the one and only Draymond Green, who is power forward, plays power forward for the Golden State Warriors of the NBA, the championship Golden State Warriors. He has Michigan ties. He's from Saginaw and played basketball at Michigan State. And his last year there was 2012. So very well known as Michigan native. So he is going to, no doubt, with his notoriety and celebrity, light up the state of Michigan for Blink Fitness, particularly in the Saginaw markets, Midland, Saginaw, Lansing, where Michigan State is located, as well as Metro Detroit. Some exciting things, and I can't wait till June 1st to really discuss the importance of competitive analysis. So important, folks. But folks, I want to wrap up this episode by just delving into the topic of self-image, folks. Self-image. How is your self-image? How we feel about ourselves is so important, folks. And I've got a few examples here. Men's Health and Women's Health magazines. We've got the one and only Giancarlo Stanton of Major League Baseball. Isn't he cute and sexy? And so we've got him on the cover. We've got, Michael B. Jordan from the movie a couple months ago. And I have no clue who this woman is. But anyway, she's on the cover of Women's Health. And so, again, do you go around comparing and competing and saying magazine covers while you're standing in line at the grocery store anywhere else? I wish I looked like them. I wish I had his arms. I wish I had her abs, whatever. And folks, and that's just my challenge to you today is when you think about the importance, when I discuss the importance of self-image, you've got to ask yourself, how do I feel about myself on the inside? Because the fixing and all the working out and all the diets and all of that is not going to change a poor self-image. How we feel about ourselves is so important. If you don't like yourself, if you don't like how you look, if you're always wishing you had someone else's life, wishing you looked like someone else, always wishing you had what someone else has, that is a recipe for a life of mediocrity and misery. And I know you don't want to live that kind of life. And so I'm challenging you today to recognize these people that you see on magazine covers, sometimes they're photoshopped. They're not exactly authentic in terms of depictions of who they really are. Okay, but we're all imperfect human beings. We all have strengths. We all have weaknesses. We all have failures. We all have successes. We all have triumphs. Just all of that. Once you just realize the humanity of each and every person on this planet, it should help you to understand and give you some perspective that, hey, they're struggling too. They got problems. They got issues. Life isn't easy for any of us. So don't waste another second comparing and competing and wishing and wanting, because in many cases, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. All right. The man who's 5'1", who wishes he could play like the New Orleans Pelicans, center/forward, Anthony Davis, who's what, 6'10", 6'11". Okay, all the wishing in the world, if you're a 25-year-old man, wishing you could play like him and wishing you had his size and height, you got to be realistic. You got to be realistic. And I look back to my high school years, and I'm going to close with this. At Seoul American High School in Korea, folks, and I just sort of tell people, don't look at me now and think I was always been this confident and secure in who I am. I was insecure, I was wishing, want to be accepted, wanted to look like this person, be like this person, whatever. And women will relate to this, particularly if you kind of had this issue when you were growing up, where I wanted to have a big chest, so I used to do these exercises of I must increase my bust. And as you can see, it didn't work, so it was a waste of time. And so that was that story. I wanted to have nose surgery and have a smaller nose, and so I just look back. I wanted to be skinny. That was a big thing for me when I got to Korea, because I have more of a lean athletic build, and I wanted to be skinny. Who knows why? I mean, it just makes no sense when I look back and I'm like, Rachelle, what in the world were you thinking? And so, folks, I challenge, and none of that matters anymore, folks, because once you learn to accept yourself, once you get secure in who you are and comfortable in your own skin, I promise you, it will revolutionize and transform your life like nothing else. So I just want to challenge you today to think long and hard about your self-image. If you're going into a fitness facility or anywhere else, feeling intimidating, feeling inferior and inadequate and insecure, the problem is not with another person or other people. All right. The problem, quite frankly, is with you. So the change starts with you. You can't go through life feeling intimidated. Somebody who goes into a fitness facility feeling intimidated by other people is more than likely feeling intimidated in other aspects of their life. All right. So the problem is internal. All right. Not external. And so, folks, I can't wait to delve into this topic more, because there's certainly much more to be said, but I just wanted to have a quick drive-by on this particular episode of thoughts involving, if you want to be happy, work on your self-image from the inside out, and it will change your life like nothing else. Thanks so much for your time. Make it a wonderfully fit day.